You were last on. Jalin Turner, how are you doing?
Doing pretty good. How about you?
Not too bad. Just the beginning. I always ask this. Just the beginning of fight week. What's it like for you? Do you try to keep them all the same? Do you try to mix it up a little, or do you try to ignore it and just get through it?
I just try to ignore it and just get through it, man. Every fight week is different.
Listen, because this is a busy day, lots of media, everyone pulling you in different directions. One thing I have to ask you, I actually saw you for the very first time live at 266, I think it was, and you submitted, was it Medici or Medici? I don't know how to say his name. And I was like, and we went to the post-fight press conference and got to know you a little bit. Is it true that you grew up arachnophobic? Is that true, or is that like a Wikipedia nonsense thing?
I didn't grow up arachnophobic. I grew into being arachnophobic. So when I was a kid, I used to love spiders and tarantulas, right?
Right, okay.
And then I started hanging out with some friends that hated spiders. I hung out with them for years. They were my best friends. And I got to a point where I hated spiders too for some reason. I couldn't even kill one if it was in the house. And I was like, what the heck? Like, I've never been like this. And it tripped me out. And I was like, I got to do something to fix this. So I started trying to just be around them a little bit more and just ease myself into it again. Then I bought one as a pet, and then it kind of creeped me out, and I was like, oh, all right, I'm gonna just do it.
I'm not really big. I know I should be on social media. I mean, I know I have an Instagram, and I know but I tend not to go to it.
And an OnlyFans.
But no, I don't have that yet.
That's a whole other story.
I don't have that. But I did see a video of yours the other day. It's like my favorite video. I guess you were feeding one of your pets.
Oh, which one?
Yeah, the tarantula. Real patiently, you stuck the little piece of food in and bam, pounced on it. It was awesome.
Yeah, everybody loves those videos, man. You know.
Yeah, listen, sorry, we'll get to MMA. I just thought, we just never know how long we've got you before you get pulled off to another interview. I thought I have to ask you that question. It was bugging me all week. So listen, you have, I believe, 10 of your 13 wins in this sport, 10 have come in the first round. Is that something, and by the way, the other 3 came in the second round. Is it something that you actively, when you put together a training camp, is it something that you actively think about, I want to finish this early? Or is it just a style, your style just means that fights tend to finish early? Is it something that you think about, or is it just something that happens?
I don't think about it at all. It's just my style. I feel like I started to study people a lot more, and it helped me open up opportunities to finish them, based off their tendencies and what they do. That I can improvise on and hurt them with, So that's how it is. I don't want to go to the judges, nobody wants to see that. Everybody wants to see a finisher,
Exactly.
Now, probably the stupidest question you're going to hear today, and it's going to come from me right now. Sometimes is that disappointing? You end the fight so quickly, and it's awesome, and the feeling's great, and you're like, I just did 3 months of camp, and I won this fight in 2 minutes and 17 seconds.
The only time I ever really felt like that was my last fight when I fought Brad. I just felt like he didn't want to fight, in a sense, he was something was off with him, and and he ended up posting about it after he fought Moicano, he had his spark wasn't there, so I sensed it, so that's the only time I kind of took away the joy of my victory, but nonetheless I feel like I would have got my hand raised the same way either way. But besides that, yeah, I get in and out. I don't want to be in there.
Have you ever felt that way yourself as you get in a fight and you have to basically fight through that feeling because your job's to compete and you feel a little off yourself?
Yeah, I've felt that way before. I've fought at times where I thought I was gonna lose. I fought at times where I thought I was gonna win, and I've lost. It's just you just never know how it's gonna play out. You just gotta keep your mindset strong. And I just learned everything about this sport is so mental. It's 80% mental. You can put as much work in as you can, but if your mind's not there, you're not gonna get your hand raised.
Who was it? I know you don't know a whole lot about American sports, but I think it was Yogi Berra, one of those famous New York Yankees.
That's a cartoon, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He's like, it's 80% mental and 40% physical. It's like, no, that doesn't work out, right?
No, not a math scholar, obviously. But listen, so you being, is it right you're 6'3"?
Yeah.
So I'm 6'3", and I'm 310 pounds. At 6'3", and you're obviously in much better shape than me, thankfully, for what you do as a profession. Is it hard now? Is it hard to make this weight? And do you kind of have aspirations? Because you're a big guy, your body can grow and into whatever you kind of want it to be, I suppose. But first of all, is the weight issue, is it hard to get down to the weight, and do you kind of have aspirations of, once you've done your job in this division, to sort of step up and move up? Is that something that would be natural to you, do you think?
You know, it's not hard. I've been fighting at lightweight my entire career. I even fought at 145. Everybody called me a fucking weight bully. I'm like, what's a weight bully?
He said trucking. He said trucking.
Excuse me.
You forgot you were supposed to let him know it's real radio. FCC, his address is.
Oh, shoot.
But he said trucking. I heard
I
trucking.
said trucking. Yeah, everybody calls me a weight bully. I'm like, I'm not a weight bully. I walk around lighter than most lightweights anyway. I would move up, like if I, clean out the division and, there's a test for me to become a double champ. I'd do it.
Yeah, I mean, do you think? I mean, looking at the fight a few weeks ago with Volkanovski and Makhachev, did you see anything in Makhachev? Did you see any gaps in his game? No, listen, you win this fight, you fly up the rankings. I believe you'd probably go to 7. Is that right? If you win this fight,
I believe so.
All of a sudden you're in an eliminator fight. You're in there. You're an exciting guy. People want to watch you fight. That's run the entertainment business at the end of the day. Did you see any gaps in his performance that go, I think I can cause that man incredible problems? Not overlooking where you are this weekend, of course, but down the line, I've heard a lot of people kind of saying, I've seen some gaps.
Yeah, definitely.
But you're not going to tell us, is basically what he's saying. Okay.
So let's talk about this Saturday. Let's talk about your opponent. First and foremost, when there's an opponent change, and again, this will be your second stupidest question from today. Is that an advantage, not a disadvantage? Because you've mentally prepared for somebody, you're towards the end of it, and it kind of freshens it up that now you have to like almost restart.
I never thought of it that way, but yes, that's actually like.
Is that called a mic drop?
That's a mic drop.
Yeah, that actually, because when I was getting ready for Dan, I was kind of like, all right, I'm getting ready for Dan. Like, I'm a bit more confident, and then I get this just drastic switch, and I'm like, all right, now I got to ramp it up again, and I'm like, all right, now we got to work on this, we got to work on that. Now I got to tailor-make extra things in my camp, and yeah, it boosted me a lot more, actually. So, yeah, I didn't think of it. I like that.
Well, I've always thought of that because I know how long I've never done a fight camp. And this is what I've told a few people, and my wife thinks this is morbid and funny at the same time. My next weight cut will be my cremation. I'm just saying. So I don't really get the whole fight camp thing. But, I would think after your, day in and day out and, the old Rockies and, Mr. T's photos on the mirror and you're looking at it, that gets old. And so if you get to change it, it's like, yeah, I now have 2 weeks to.
Mr. T.
Well, it's Rocky. You know me and Rocky.
I know. There's like people that I love that. It's such an old kind of fashioned analogy. I absolutely love it because I used to have a picture of him on my wall.
Did you have a picture of Dan on the wall?
No.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying maybe that would have fallen right into it. So give me your thoughts on the new opponent.
He higher ranked opponent, higher grappling accolades. Different, just completely different style. It's a typical striker versus grappler match for me, and I'm hyped for it. I'm excited for the challenge. I've worked on my grappling a lot. I feel like my grappling has excelled a lot more, and I feel like I can nullify his grappling offense enough to light him up on the feet.
Do you ever get caught up in George Gagel, a very good friend of mine, way before your time, fought in the UFC? Like an 842-degree black belt, but he would never go to the ground. And he would always try to stand because he wanted to prove something. And then he would lose the fight. He'd talk to me in the back and be all upset. Sorry I let you down. I'm like, no, just do what you're best at. Do you ever get caught in that, in trying to fight the other guy's game and beat him at his best instead of fighting your best?
No, I do that. I train that way. So I train to the accolade of, I want to be the best at grappling, wrestling, or whatever. So be it. Whatever my weakness is, or my weak point is, I want to be so well versed that I get to the point that I'm better than most people at that. But when it comes fight time, it's like, all right, I have to work towards my skill set, my accolades, and what I'm best at. So I don't mix the two.
What can the fans look forward to when you get back in the octagon on Saturday?
They're gonna look forward to me having an exciting fight and finishing.
And listen, Sunday morning, the fight's over. You've won the fight, hopefully.
Pizza. It's always pizza.
What do you do? Like, people always ask, they always kind of go, you spend all this time training and honing yourselves to be these elite level athletes. What do you do on Sunday? Is there a meal? Do you stay in training? Do you constantly just stay healthy, or do you just think, I'm just going to eat a burger, or I'm going to have some like a pizza, or I'm going to have a few beers? What is it you do?
I'm eating.
Eating everything
all day.
all day.
I'm eating all day for the next 3 weeks. I'm eating food. I'm eating whatever the heck I want.
That's me every day. That's my daily life. Before we let you go, give me an interesting fact on a tarantula.
Dang, how interesting. Shoot, I don't know.
Well, you know, I believe that you're the only person to ever do the weigh-in. Didn't you weigh in with one on you? There you go. So there you go.
Yeah.
I mean,
Did you have it on a leash?
No, I had it in my hand.
He's lost it. He actually brought one in. We can't find it right now.
Yeah.
So
Well, Steve will look. Jalin, thank you very much for your time. We're going to get your address. We're going to send you a care package from 8 Man Strong, as well as a box of salsa from Bruce Smoked Salsa, so you'll be able to load up on chips.